Oh, I hit the wrong button. I was getting ready to retake the photo on the front page, and I hit go live instead of retake the photo. Oh well. So, hey, my name is Gary. I am going to go post our link on the front page of the website, which I'm a little bit behind getting up there. Let's go over there, edit the page. Today, oh, wait, today we're doing the F Arpeggio. I thought it's Tuesday, right? It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Today we're doing the F Arpeggio. Oh my goodness. All right. Space, paste, shift, highlight, link, enter, edit, settings, open a new window, update, update. All right. So there's that. All right. So I walked in here. I'm like, oh, sweet. We're going to have all this uh, lovely tunes today. And then I'm like, oh, wait. It's tomorrow. Jeez. Jeez Louise. All right. So anyway, here we are. Hi, everybody. My name's Gary. Website is jollyrogerukulele.com. And I'm going to go tweet it. https://jollyrogerukulele.com. And let's put a picture of, let's go get our skull and crossbones on there. Where's that at? Ukulele. Nope. Up. Jolly Roger logo. There it is. Tweet. Okay. Well, all right. So the whole thing's a mess now. All right. If I'd have known it was Tuesday, we'd have been in much better shape. All right, make this go away. Let's see. Today we are working on the key of F Arpeggio, or if you are in baritone, you are working on your key of C Arpeggio, which is lovely. Definitely the hardest arpeggio of the week, and in book one, I do three arpeggios in book one. First one's pretty doable. Second one's pretty hard. Third one's like bordering on unpleasant. But the nice thing is that over time, these will get easier and more relatable. And so we're in the process of gearing everybody up so that you can play ukulele at a very high level. And so we'll keep moving forward on that. Today is Tuesday, and tomorrow is our final day of level 1. So those of you guys that are in foundations class and you're like, you know what, I'm going to learn how to play ukulele at a high level, you've made it. You've made it to the final lessons tomorrow, and they're really just songs. They're stretch pieces meant to challenge you a little bit, to see where you're at, how you're feeling about it. The challenge pieces that we do tomorrow are very typical of all of the songs that we do. And so tomorrow you'll know, hey, this is going pretty well. I don't need to come to foundations anymore. Or this is still pretty challenging for me. I think I'll sit through foundations a second time. Let's see who's wandering in today with 16 people already, which is very exciting. Donna's in. Howdy, she says. Sunny but cold in Lakewood. Yeah, it's weird. And we have this weird temperature inversion going on. So it looks like it's freezing out there. And it looks terrible. It looks like, I don't know, it looks like the fires did this summer. It's awful. Janice is in from Scotland. This is always a big question. I worry about Janice because they don't have a little bit of weather there. It's unbelievable what they have there. And so today, chilly, 0 degrees Celsius. That's freezing for the rest of us. I'll settle for that. So chilly. It's freezing. That's more than chilly. But yeah, so they got the ferries running out to Janice's Island, so she doesn't have to resort to cannibalism, which is a good news. Linda's down in Colorado Springs, south of me, killing it. Sandy is up in Michigan. Vic is in Eugene. It's 44 degrees up there. Linda says, a great day. Diane says, working on those sharp metal frets on the baritone. Slow progress. Diane, if you want to bring that by this weekend, just send me an email and I'll take care of those for you. I know sometimes hanging out with other, you don't even have to come in. Just bring it in the parking lot. I'll run upstairs. I'll take care of them for you. Might be faster and easier if I do it. And it turns out when you have to work on your own ukulele for the first time, everything takes 3 hours. And when I do it, it takes 10 minutes, right? Because I've done it 80 million times. So feel free, if you want to set up a time, Diane, to bring it by, we can do that. Nancy's in from Florida. 84 degrees. That's finally. Nancy had it all the way down into the 50s a couple weeks earlier last week, right? It was a rough week down there in Florida, but it's finally back to where it's supposed to be. Connie, sun is shining. No more. No. Okay, so Connie had some snow overnight, which is kind of cool. Marianne from the beautiful foothills of Denver. Hazy up there. Yeah, what's haze? What is this haze? David in from Michigan. It's chilly. Yeah, it's freezing cold up there. Linda, hi from Colorado Springs. Beautiful day down there. Linda's having a beautiful day. Ray is in. Good afternoon, Ray. Good to see you, boss. Connie, no more snow. All right, so the snow's done up in Broomfield. And Dennis in from Toronto. It's chilly up in Toronto as well. All right, guys, let's play this thing. Let's do the ukulele version first. And baritone players, as you know, there are the skill set's the same, just the names of the chords that you're going to be playing are different. So let's grab the ukulele version, F major jumping flea arpeggiator, high G ukulele edition. So with this is your final arpeggio, which is also a bit of a stretch piece. But what happens in this piece is lots and lots of the tools that you're going to need for the more difficult songs are sitting in this piece, just like they were in the key of G. But here we focus in on a couple of specific techniques surrounding bar chords. And as you know, when you're in the key of F, which we learned yesterday with Daisy Bell, that you're going to be having a thing called the B flat show up. And in this piece, you get both B flats. You get the easier one and the harder one. Or I guess, I should say you get the harder one and the really hard one. But I don't necessarily think the really hard one is any harder to do than the hard one. So you'll get both of the B flats in this piece, and both of those B flats are going to show up basically every time you play advanced music. And so no reason not to just deal with it now, get it out of the way. And so let's walk through chord shapes, baritone players. Your chord shapes will end up being the same, but the names will be different. So as you guys have all figured this out now. So F chord for ukulele, C chord for baritone. And since there's no glissando markings, you're going to be plucking here, right? Bum, 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 bum. The one thing to pay attention to, if you are not a note reader, if you don't have much in the way of musical background, you look up at the melody line and you see quarter note, quarter note, quarter note, quarter note, and then you see two half notes. Just make sure you know when there's holes in the middle of the notes, those are worth twice what the ones that don't have holes in them. So you've got quarter note, quarter note, quarter note, quarter. That's your 4 beats, right? In measure 2, you only have 2 notes. And they're both chords in this case. Anytime notes are stacked up like that, it's a chord. And but they have the holes in the middle of the note. So that means they're twice as long as the other ones. Okay. Next shape is D minor on ukulele, A minor on baritone. Okay. So you got that shape. Same exact pattern. Bum, 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 bum. Now here's where things get kind of dicey. Baritone players, you're going to go to your F chord. Okay. As I talked about yesterday, I like it when you do a full bar, but I'm totally okay with you doing a half bar on this particular shape. The only reason you do a full bar is it allows you to play all the other bar chords more conveniently. And why not just give yourself one system for bar chords? Almost always put on the full bar. But you'll see me plenty of times I do a half bar on B flat. Okay, so you cut these first 2 strings covered, then middle and ring, or just a full bar, middle and ring. And be okay with the sound of, okay, because you're waiting for your hand to get stronger, and then it goes away. Okay, and then at measure 7, same pattern, but now make sure you know what you're doing. You see a C chord there, and if you're on baritone, you see a G chord here. Don't lose your mind. I don't want that C chord. That C chord is not what we're looking for here. We're in this B flat shape. We're going to just slide it up to get to the C. Okay, and this is again is a skill that you're going to be using every day, playing more advanced pieces. Bum, slide up, bum. That is very common in lots and lots of music, and so what we're really doing is taking an A chord, moving it up to a B flat, moving it up to a C, and you'll even have times when we use it clear up on 5 as a D chord. And so those are all going to be part of your repertoire, your skill set. And hey, Linda, welcome in. Don't worry about being late, being here. I have faith you all get here as quickly as possible, right? So that's the system. Then, now when you get to measure 9, same exact chord set all the way through, but the pattern is different. Instead of thumb, index, middle, you're going to be doing middle, index, thumb. Doesn't seem like much. What I do know over time is your hands like to do the arpeggio that they've been doing lately. And so for me, I'm pretty good at thumb, index, middle, because I do it all the time. But sometimes I do it the other way: middle, index, thumb, middle, index, thumb, middle, index, thumb, middle, index, thumb. And your hand is probably less excited about doing that because it's used to doing it the other way. And so with these arpeggios throughout the book, I try to mix it up where, sometimes you're, and then sometimes you're, and you can hear the difference in the melody. And certainly on baritone, you'll hear a great difference. Anytime you've got the 4th string involved, you're going to hear this bong and deep, dark sound in there. So same chords all the way through into 16, but the pattern is different. And again, when you're playing with your claw, you want to be able to be in charge of whatever your fingers need to do, just by knowing, hey, I'm set up here. In this particular instance, using all 4 strings. So now I'm going to be using my thumb, index, middle, and then my middle, index, thumb to play what's on the paper. Now, here's where things get a little bit messy. You go to measure 17. You're going to have this D minor shape, okay? And for baritones, it's an A minor shape. But you're up the neck, okay? And if we haven't talked about them enough, it's important that you get the idea here. This is a D minor on ukulele, A minor on baritone. It's also sitting right up here as a bar chord. Sounds a little different in version. The strings are in a little different order, but it's still a D minor, lower D minor, upper D minor. And every chord that you know down here will have a companion further up the neck, but it'll be a different shape, but there will be, so for example, your C chord here, we also have it here, and we also have it here. So C, we have it in a couple of different places, but you'll have chords going up the neck. The reason that's important to get comfy with is when you learn let's say you learn your G chord. Oh, finally learned it, going along great. But then the melody notes down here, you're in trouble, right? Because there's no way you can reach that. So you have to know your upper chords as well. In this case, that's a G chord right there on 7 with the C shape. Okay, lower G, upper G. Your melody note happened to be there. You could reach it then. So that's why in at least as instrumentalists, we have to know more than just our open chords, but we'll have to know our bar chords going all the way up here because the melody is going to come up here. And in fact, I'm working on some stuff here where I actually have to go all the way up to the 17th fret of a guitar, and it's just really like, oh, that is so dumb. It doesn't even sound good. We'll never go that high on ukulele, but the thing is that, yeah, there are some times when you are actually having to play these notes up here, and you need chords that are going to surround them and be part of the activity. So that's why we do, at measure 17, we do this shape. Bar on 5, ring finger on 7, okay, and that's your D minor. Or A minor if you're on baritone. Now, next scale, what you notice, it looks super scary, but it's not really because you're only going to be moving your middle finger. Next measure, 18, you've got a B flat. Your middle finger is going to go on the 2nd string. Now, notice what you're really doing. You're really playing an F chord or a C chord for baritone, but you slid that up and put on a bar at 5. Now it's a B flat. It's a different. When we first learned B flat, we learned it here. Then we learned it up here on 5. Both of those are B flats. Okay. This one has a little bit higher pitch, and it gives you access to playing that 8 there if you needed to, in which you will a lot. And there's no way to hold that note and play a regular B flat down here. It just won't work, okay? So that's why we're working on this. D minor here, B flat here. Okay, you're going to plunk, 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 and you repeat that idea 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, and then if we move on to measure 20, 23, here's where things are fascinating. At 22, you're playing this shape. Bum, 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 bum. Now at measure 23, you got to slide down and grab your B flat shape, but you're on 3. So your middle finger is going to come up, and boom, right there. Boom, 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 boom. So you're doing a yet another type of C chord. They're all over this place. So B flat here. You move it up to 3. It's a C. And of course, you've already done that in the previous page. And then at measure 24, notice the glissando show up. That little wiggly line. Now you do the downstrum. Okay, so that's what that glissando is about. Measures 25 through 31, well, really into 32, that's a different section, right? That's the double bar line indicates at 25, hey, we're moving into a different section. You won't always find double bar lines. I've been trying to put them in more and more just to give you as a player a notice, hey, things are about to change. So we'll play the melody through there. At 28, you have that C7, G7 for baritones, and so you're going to make sure to pay attention to the glissandos. I will point out measure 30 is 3, 2, 1, 1. Well, that's just a B flat you're holding. Okay, so there's that. And then at 32, you want to be plucking. And then you see the repeat bar takes you all the way back to measure 1. We'll play that whole thing a second time through. Then when we get to 33, the second time through, it's all melody, but notice the patterns, okay? The pattern's the same, so you know that's going to be arpeggio picking when you see patterns that repeat like that. And so you just grab your chord. Measure 39, things change a little bit, right? Bum, 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 bum. And then at 40, those are half notes, so they're not as fast as the quarter notes, but they're faster than some of this. It slows down, is what I'm trying to say. 40. Banta, 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 bum. And let that ring. Don't let off of your chord at all there. You've got a fermata, the little eyeball-looking thing at 42, that's saying, hey, make this note longer than usual. And when it's the last chord or the last note, you just let it ring until your instrument dies and don't lift up on this. Okay, let's play it. We're going to go pretty slow the first time through, and then the second time I'll pick it up a little bit. Okay, from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bum, 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 plump, plump, D minor, plunk, 2, 2, 1, plunk, plunk, B flat, plunk, 3, 2, 1, plunk, plunk, slide up, plunk, down, index, middle, plunk, plunk, go to 9, F, plunk, middle, index, thumb, plunk, plunk, D minor, plunk, middle, index, thumb, plunk, plunk, B flat, plunk, middle, index, thumb, plunk, plunk, slide forward, plunk, middle, index, thumb, plunk, plunk. Don't go fast here, slide up, put your bar on 5, ring on 7, keep your middle finger ready to go. Here we go, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, add your middle finger, 1, take it off, put it on, take it off, second page, put it on, slide back to the C, glissando, Ready? Plucking. Back to the top of the page. Measure 9. G minor. Page 2. Slide back to C. And let it ring. Isn't that pretty? Just a really pleasant way. The song is a pretty decent song. Got a lot of motion, lots of different skill sets in there. Really learning how to play ukulele at that top level. So as we were bringing the airplane into the hangar, you're sort of assessing, wow, that was pretty hard, right? My thumb hurts. Right now, my thumb is like, oh, that's kind of a lot. But you're getting a sense of the skill set that the players who've been at this a little bit longer are working on mastering as well. This piece and the two pieces tomorrow really are significantly difficult pieces on purpose. Like, I want you to feel like, you know what, I can't do everything, but I know what I'm supposed to do, and I'm getting there. That's a good sign. And you're like, man, this is really way hard. And it's a good opportunity for you. Take a second round through foundations, and it should theoretically start to come together for you. Most of the time when people are struggling, most time, not all the time, but most of the time when we're struggling, we haven't had enough practice time. We just need a little bit more time with the material. We need just more reps on it. Our hands are, we're asking a pretty weird thing for this hand, how strong it has to be in order to do this. You're getting these fingers, which you have never done this. They've never done that in their life. And all of a sudden you're like, yeah, this is what we're doing now. And you're like, wait, what? I don't think that we're ready to do that. So it just takes some more reps, and then you will start to have that come together. Let's grab the baritone piece of music, the C major for baritone. And ukulele players, this is a nice opportunity for you. You got your C, your F, your C, your A minor, and your F, and your G. And that is our home base. That's the land where we live at as ukulele players. So you should be able to provide me with some decent accompaniment here. We will play through this thing as written, just top to bottom, just like we just did with the ukulele one. Baritone players, you're going to be using the skills we were talking about prior. We'll start off first time through a little bit slower, second time through we'll pick up the pace a little bit. On these arpeggios, if you play them exactly according to what the computer says you're supposed to play them at, they take about, most of them take 2 minutes and 15 seconds, something like that, to perform. But as a new player, if it takes you 3 minutes to get through something, that's fine. There's no rule that you have to play things at any particular pace. And I do tell all musicians that I work with, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. It's going to be better if you slow down. When you speed up, a few weeks prior to giving a concert, that's when you need to start speeding up. But for practice time, for working at your house and getting your music up to speed, play it slow. Play it slow. Much better for you long term, because you're not practicing in mistakes that way. You're being very mindful. Hey, if I play this slow, now I'm able to ascertain I have done nothing that I don't want to do in my final performance. I've got everything exactly the way I wanted. Playing it slow makes sense. A measure 18, is that an F on baritone? Measure, oh, measure 18. Yes, it's an F on baritone. Yes. Because this is on baritone, this is an F, and on baritone, this is an F. Yes. Okay. Thanks, Mary. I'm like, what is she talking about? Yeah, so when you're on baritone, things that look like B flats are Fs. Okay. Yeah, that's an F. The B flat on ukulele, F on baritone. All right, you guys ready? Let's make this happen. Ukulele players, give me the most beautiful 4 beats per measure you've ever done. You've got C, you've got your favorite chords here. Baritone players, we got our work cut out for us. Let's see how we sound at the house. This should be miraculous. A little bit slower the first time through, a little bit faster the second. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try not to do that. Slide back to the C. G chord for you guys. Page 2. There. How's that sound? How's that sounding at your house? Ukulele players, did we sound pretty good together? Baritone players, is your thumb hurting? It's interesting. Almost 20 years on ukulele, and then a little bit of guitar prior to that. Lots of years on piano. My thumb, and after playing that through twice on ukulele and baritone, my thumb is actually like, that's kind of, ow, right? So your thumb probably is like, ow, that really hurt. So just so you know, the one thing I did learn is when we are working on these more technical exercises, you of course are going to come up with more muscle groups that you're using that you're not you don't do a lot of, and you will find a lot of sort of fatigue and just pain, not pain necessarily, but tiredness in certain parts of your hands. That's a good thing, right? You're building up that strength. You're teaching it, hey, this is a new thing we're going to be doing. Toughen up, hand, and but it's an ongoing process. The other thing I know from piano is the first half hour you're just warming up, right? The second half hour is when your hands finally loosen up and do the work. Not that I'm recommending you practice ukulele for an hour, hour and a half every day, but do know that a lot of times, because we're not particularly efficient with practice, we have a tendency to waste a lot of time practicing and you don't get as far as you could. And so when you're practicing something like this, if you will play it slow, look for those areas where you're really getting stuck. Study just those areas. You don't need to play the whole song all the way through all of the time. You really want to focus in on those areas that are a little bit tough. And so for me, one of the things I found difficult at 31 and into 32, I'm in this shape, right? Now I've got to get to my C chord and put my chord here. So I think that's challenging. The other challenging section, obviously, the same for everybody, that section that starts at 17. Bum, 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 bum. And sometimes in the local orchestra here, I like to challenge them, and I'll conduct this at 140, and it's pretty fast, And so you got no hope of playing it fast if you can't play it slow. That's one of those things. Now let's talk a little bit about where you're at, how things are working on the website, what we want to be doing, getting ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow we have two songs. We have Aloha Oi. If you don't know it, I want you to take a minute here. We got plenty of time for you to swing over there, listen to the MP3 on the website a few times. Make sure you know how that goes. Beautiful, beautiful song. Was probably written on a ukulele by a queen of Hawaii. So it is one of our tunes. It's a ukulele tune. We have a very limited repertoire of real songs that were really written on the ukulele, and I'm pretty sure this is one of them. The second song we're doing tomorrow is Scarborough Fair. We want that to be easy to play. It's not. It's all over the place on the ukulele. You may want to take a look at that here in the next little bit, just so you can see what you're dealing with there when it comes around to tomorrow. On Thursday, we'll play everything from the week: Daisy Bell, Key of F Arpeggios, Aloha Oi, and Scarborough Fair. So we'll have two shots at those. And then you'll be making a final decision about how you're feeling about stuff. Don't neglect over on the, if you go to the website and you click on up above, it says, let me go see what it says. It says ukulele and baritone tab. On there, I have arranged all lessons I do in order. So it's 1 through 30 lessons for book 1. At the end, at the top of that, there is an assignment tracker, lesson 7, where you can check off how you're feeling about each of these. It's not a bad idea for you, either by Thursday, so we can talk about it, or certainly next week, where you go through, double check your progress with everything. How you feeling about Frere Jacques, strumming in the key of A, making your better bar. As a musicians, especially as newer musicians, we never feel like we have anything together. But if you had a general sense that, hey, I can knock out Yankee Doodle, yeah, I remember Spaghetti Monster, and I have the basic idea what's going through there. Give yourself a sort of a self-analysis using the progress tracker to find out, hey, have I learned what I thought I was supposed to learn? Have I given everything a good try? Do I know when I look at La Cucaracha, do I remember the staccato picking and So all of that sort of stuff is where you're at. And then again, we'll talk on Thursday about, hey, what's next for you? What's next? Probably for some of you will be to move on, to stop coming to foundations and just start coming to the tough class. But for many of you, you're like, no, another round through would be just lovely. And all of the music in level one, I think, is fantastic. And so I don't have anything in level one that I hate. I used to have plenty of songs in there that I hate. And then I got down to songs I love that I just couldn't get to. And so all that stuff has ended up in book two. And so then book two is still kind of a mess because I've been busy posting that stuff online and cleaning it up and all that stuff. That was always just meant for locally here that I was teaching. But now that it's online, I got to get all that stuff caught up. So baritone players, as I'm creating sheets for you for everything in book two, I'm also going through and cleaning up the ukulele stuff that we sort of threw up there over the last couple of months. Since the pandemic started, so that we could get something up there to play. And so there's that. So you have an exciting venture of playing everything in book two, and I have an exciting adventure of getting as much of that cleaned up and online as possible. That progress tracker will also go through and allow you to do that. In book two, it is not set up by skill set, so you can pick any of the groups of songs you want to work on or any individual song and work on that, and you should, until you've played everything in book two. Everything beyond that, the stuff the orchestra does on Monday nights, music theory and all that stuff, that's still, if you're playing in book two, you can play in book with the orchestra, no problem. The problem with Monday nights is speed. It's always, we don't slow down things, we really do push the speed a little bit. So Dennis is asking, try and see how lightly you have to press on strings and still get a pure sound. It's a great idea, right? If you are you get to this chord here and you're squeezing the heck out of the neck to get a pure thing, over time you're going to get stronger here, so you don't have to press nearly as hard, which I'm not doing now. Okay, and the fun thing my guitar teacher right now is working on with me is don't use your thumb at all. What I find is I'm sort of pressing the instrument up against my body, using my elbow as a bit of leverage, and I don't need my thumb at all, right? Right. So your thumb in the beginning, you do need to use it. You are going to be squeezing harder than you wish you were, and you will get where it hurts a little bit, but that's okay because you do have to build this muscle. It is something you need to have. But when the muscle gets super tired, just go on to a little bit different activity. But like as Dennis says, sometimes you're squeezing so hard, you're probably squeezing harder than you may need to. And the truth is, you don't have to use your thumb. It's definitely an advanced technique, and so don't work on it. You don't need to work on it, but what you do need to do is work on your thumb to build the strength up, but not, don't strangle your neck. All right, guys, that's all I got for today. It's a good idea to go through and play this thing on your own a couple of times anyway, at whatever speed you need to play it, and I'm still practicing. And Janice is talking about this one, right? This is an excellent warm-up activity, but not too hard, super crazy hard, almost not too hard, right? And then do it with your thumb out, right? And then do these two together. Then your middle finger kind of run its own show a little bit, right? Do it on both hands. This is the hard one, I think, getting your ring finger to cooperate. Right, and then over here, and then do this hand, same thing. I'm not warmed up, and squeeze a ball, get those things, get those tendons stretched, and then do this. Don't press against each other; you're going to hurt yourself that way. But just do that, right? And then the music hands, bum, bum, bum. This is stuff you can do when you don't have a ukulele around. Just stretching your tendons. Feels so good. Live long and prosper. Right? So, yeah. Coming along, right? It does take a while. I don't know. Those of you guys around in the 70s and we had to learn that. Boy, that was hard. As a musician, you get where it's not a big deal anymore. But yeah, so that's definitely a good warm up activity. I felt, in fact, just now, messing around with my pinky here. It's like, oh, I'm going to stretch that a little too fast. Got a little too rambunctious. Janice is ruining my life. Guys, have a wonderful afternoon. Play the ukulele. Get ready for tomorrow. Take a look at those two songs. They're definitely stretch pieces. You're going to want to have a little bit of advanced warning. Not really any new information in there. There's one thing in Aloha Oi, and then a rather complicated bar situation in Scarborough Fair we'll be dealing with. But other than that, we'll have a lovely day of playing music tomorrow and Thursday, right? So, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I've been busy yapping too much today, and you guys have a great afternoon. I'm going to pull the plug. Planning your random act of kindness, planning on being safe, planning on practicing, planning on showing up here. We started off with about 32, and we're at 18 right now. So what does that mean? Those other 12, 14, we don't know what happened to them, right? They're not becoming better ukulele instrumentalists. That's what I know for sure. They're probably thinking, well, it got kind of hard. I think I'll wait till the next time it starts. Maybe, right? Some are like, I know all this stuff, right? No, they don't. You don't. I've been doing it I know I write this stuff and I don't know how. So yeah, keep showing up. It will make a difference. And then starting next Tuesday, we start level 1 all over again, the foundations class all over again. So we just keep it rolling through. I want all of you to feel really strong with your skill set. So absolutely. Have a wonderful day. Let's see. Vic, good to see you. Dennis, have a great day. Janice, she's not as good as me, but it's come along. One of these days, Janice is going to be able to do Mr. Spock way better than I am. That's her plan. Vic, Dennis, good to see you, bud. Janice, let's see. Where I left off the wrong spot? Connie, thanks for being here. Ray, hope you're killing it out there. Linda, how's the arm coming? Getting that taken care of. Jane Anderson, you're welcome, Jane. Do I know you, Jane? I don't think I've met you. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here. And Nancy, many thanks for all you. Oh, you're absolutely welcome. We are going to keep this going, guys. And my ultimate goal, I think, at this point, is to have you where you are feeling like, you know what, I can play anything on ukulele, and I can play all the good songs. Right? There's a lot of crummy songs out there. We'll work on a few of those too. We worked on Streets of Laredo and guitar today, which is a great melody, great chords, absolutely dumbest song ever. And so Jane says, I'm new. I've been to a few sessions, but wanted to attend one. Yeah, good. Delighted you're here, Jane. Thanks for being here. If you missed the early sessions, you can always go to the archive page and work your way through those, or just if time allows, just start coming again next week. On Tuesday, we start the whole shebang from the beginning. So glad you're here. Linda says, and like and subscribe. I forgot to do this. If you're logged in, apparently if you hit the thumbs up button, something magical happens. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Pulling the stream. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.